6-yard box. The midfield is fluid, the false nine's a challenge, the width incredible, and the work rate amazing. Those are the words of Brighton boss Graham Potter when asked this week about today's opponents, Manchester City. How do you beat them? A head-scratcher, he admits, but something he achieved here at the end of last season, coming from 2-0 down to win by 3-2. Since then, Brighton have gone on to become one of the stars of the new season. Unbeaten in 5 with 15 points from 8. There's nobody better placed to beat Manchester City on current performances than the Seagulls. The trouble is, Manchester City are in good form themselves, unbeaten in their last 7 matches, with clean sheets kept in 6 of those victories. Pep Guardiola put last season's loss here down to focus being on the upcoming Champions League final, with the title already secured. He also might be looking for a measure of revenge today, having fallen out pitch side with Potter last time around. Let's get to the team news, starting with Brighton. Now, earlier we were given this as a 4-4-2. We didn't believe it, and it seems to be wrong. So it's a defensive trio today of Dan Burn, Lewis Dunk and Joel Veltman. Robert Sanchez, the goalkeeper. Solly March comes in at wing-back. On the other side is Marc Cucurella. Midfield trio, Adam Lallana, Jakob Moder and Pascal Gross. Leandro Trossard behind Neal Maupay up front, who's sort of lone striker, but Trossard certainly does his best to support. Duffy is the man taken out of the team from the last game against Norwich. He drops down to the bench. Subs to come in a few moments. As for Manchester City, 6 changes from the game against Burnley, 2 from the game against Bruges or Brugge. Here is that team. Ederson in goal, back 4 of João Cancelo, Aymeric Laporte, Ruben Dias and Kyle Walker. On the midfield, it's Rodri, Gundogan and Bernardo Silva. Jack Grealish being given the false 9 role today. Phil Foden, Gabriel Jesus, the other 2 that are playing either side nominally, but we'll see how they line up when we see the players on the field in 10 minutes or so. Alongside me for this one, it's a warm welcome back to our friend Kit Simons. How are you, mate? You all right?
Very good, Tom, thank you. Yeah, looking forward to this.
Great to see you. It annoys me that when you come back after going away for work, you come back looking younger.
I'm not sure about that.
It frustrates me. I mean, just for men, it's good to know they're still selling. Right, let's get to the two teams, starting with Brighton. How on earth have they been so good this season?
Incredible. Yeah, done really, really well. I mean, they threatened, they played nice football, easy on the eye. They've always done that, but it didn't seem to get the results that they sort of needed this season, putting it all together. So I think you're seeing now the fruits of their labour, if you like. The work that was put in over quite a period of time since Graham Potter's been there. They're now starting to get those results. So fair dues to them, because it is it's an attractive style of football. It's good to watch, and they're getting the results.
What about Manchester City in terms of the changes they've made today? 6 from the win against Burnley last week, 2 from Brugge in midweek. I suppose the headline is that Kevin De Bruyne is not here. What does that do to Manchester City?
Well, it's still an incredibly strong lineup, isn't it? You look at the starting 11, you think that's good enough to beat pretty much anyone, and then you look at the likes of De Bruyne on the bench, and you're thinking, wow, they've got game changers there to come on as well, sort of him and Mahrez or whatever. So yeah, they've got such a strong squad. Spent an awful lot of money on it, assembling it, so you would expect it to be a strong bench, and then that's what they've got today.
You always take the formations given to you with a pinch of salt, because it goes through, it's like whispers. Suddenly it's a 4-4-2, it's a 3-5-2. Eventually, when it comes to our graphics team, it could be any formation. I'm amazed that Ederson's not occasionally up front when these get handed to us, but we are being told Jack Grealish, false 9 today, with Jesus continuing in this wide role. Foden, the other striker. Talk to me about this false 9 that the Man City are doing, and does it work without Ferran Torres, who's out till January?
I'm not a massive fan of a false 9 in general. Now, if you're by far the better team, as Man City normally are, Barcelona when they were, flying in the pomp, certainly not so much these days, but then you can afford to do it. I think you've got goals throughout the team coming, but generally I think most teams are better when they've got an actual striker, a focal point, someone to build off of, someone to threaten in behind the back line of the opposition as well, and try and stretch them a little bit. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but like I say, Man City, because they are so good, they've got such good players and movement and everything, they still generally win games and create lots of chances. But I think they'll be even better with an orthodox striker there.
Benches today for Brighton: Jason Steele, the goalkeeper; Tarek Lamptey, good to see him back in the matchday squad in the Premier League; Adam Webster returning from injury as well; Aaron Connolly, Ibasuma, Alexis McAllister, Enoch Mwepu, Shane Duffy and Taylor Richards. For Man City, the US goalkeeper Zach Steffen, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Alexander Zinchenko, the aforementioned De Bruyne, Fernandinho, Riyad Mahrez, Samuel Edozie and Cole Palmer. You do the subs these days, takes you about 20 minutes. Go back to one sub, or no subs. Come on, that's the way it should be. Kevin Friend's our referee, by the way. What about that Brighton bench? Very, very strong. And we mentioned the first team and the changes they've had to make, but you think about Shane Duffy, he's probably been their best player this season. Ibasuma, for reasons we won't get into here, but he's not in the team at the moment, but he's back on the bench and available for selection. Adam Webster, £20+ million signing. Very strong bench.
Well, it is, and again, I think it's you know, they've assembled this squad over a long period of time, and it's sort of they've gone about their business fairly quietly, I think, Brighton, without, you know, too much sort of fanfare or anything. But now you look at it, it's a well-run club. They've got a good, strong, solid squad now, and as you say, that's emphasised by the quality of player they've now got on their bench. So you got to look at it. It's a club that is going in the right direction. They're doing things in the right way.
They fell out last season on the sideline, did Graham Potter and Pep Guardiola. Guardiola took exception to Graham Potter's wild celebrations to one of the goals in that game. They've since kissed and made up. Graham Potter says he'll give Pep a cuddle if he'll be happy to receive it on the touchline today. Let's hear from the two bosses, who I'm sure will get on with some conviviality today. It is Graham Potter and Pep Guardiola.
Manchester City, from what I've seen, have taken another step forward. So impressive with their performances against Liverpool, against Chelsea. They pick up 4 points in those two matches away from home. It's an incredible performance. So we know the quality of the opposition, like I said, as good as anybody in the world. So it's a fantastic challenge for us, a great opportunity, and one we're looking forward to.
The praise is because we win the managers, and we are incredible criticized, more than the worst in the society. Sometimes we are worse than them, just for we don't win games. It's simple as that. So we'll be treated the same. I'm treated good because I win sometimes, and I treat bad because I lose sometimes. This is the only reason why.
Yeah, Pep Guardiola there having his say, as many bosses did, on the treatment of managers in general in the Premier League, following some of the comments from Steve Bruce a few days ago, following his sacking at Newcastle United. Simon's final word from you before kick-off on that, because, you know, you've been in the hot seat at top clubs in English football. I mean, it's a tough job at the best of times, without having to also try and navigate the murky waters of social media as well.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, people just think they can say what they want on social media, and it's almost it's justified and acceptable. Well, it's not. You expect, as a manager, you're going to get stick when results are not going well. You get that from your normal crowd and press and stuff. You know, so you get it anyway, and that comes with the territory. But you know, there's a line that shouldn't be crossed, I feel, and you know, certainly in recent weeks we've seen that being crossed, and yeah, it's not acceptable, really.
No, well said. Steve Bruce has now left Newcastle United. They're now under new management in more ways than one. That was the game we just heard with Russell Hargreaves and Trevor Steven, a draw at Selhurst Park between Palace and Newcastle. Some big results across the Premier League today. Why not another one right here? You've got Brighton and Hove Albion, one of the form teams in the Premier League, starting this match in the top four, fourth in the table. They can usurp Man City, who sit in third, if they get all 3 points today, and they would close the gap, would you believe it, on Liverpool and Chelsea, the top two at the moment, should they win it. Why not? Kick-off is next. Stay with us. You're listening to Premier League Live. Brighton and Hove Albion against Manchester City from the Amex Stadium. I'm your host Tom Rennie. Alongside me for this one is the former City defender Kit Symons. This is Premier League Live. Brighton have made their best ever start to a top division season with 15 points from their opening 8 matches, seeing them start this one in 4th position. Manager Graham Potter isn't reading too much into that as yet, but has suggested if they keep going until game week 30, then the club can start to dream big. Manchester City are dreaming big themselves and are currently 5 points better off at this stage this season than last. Unbeaten in 7 with 6 clean sheets in that time, with points picked up away to both Chelsea and Liverpool. Just who can stop Pep Guardiola's winning machine? Last season, Brighton managed just that right here at the Amex Stadium. It finished 3-2, ending a run of 7 straight losses against City for the Seagulls. Here's the teams, starting with Brighton. Robert Sanchez in goal. Back 3 of Joel Veltman, Lewis Dunk and Dan Burn. Marc Cucurella and Solly March are wing-backs left and right. Adam Lallana, Jakob Moder and Pascal Gross, midfield trio. Leandro Trossard supporting Neil Maupay, the lone striker. Bench is Jason Steele, the goalkeeper, Tarek Lamptey, Adam Webster, Aaron Connolly, Ibasuma, Alexis McAllister, Enoch Mwepu, Shane Duffy and Taylor Richards. Duffy the only change from the game against Norwich, which ended 0-0 last week. As for Manchester City, they make 6 changes from their last Premier League team, 2 from the Champions League. Kevin De Bruyne, the big headline, he is on the bench. Ederson is in goal. Back 4, João Cancelo, Aymeric Laporte, Ruben Dias and Kyle Walker. Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan midfield trio. Jack Grealish, Gabriel Jesus and Phil Foden the front 3. We are told Grealish will be the false 9 to start the game. We'll let you know exactly how they line up. Looks like Phil Foden doing that role at the very start. On the bench, Zach Steffen, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Alexander Zinchenko, Kevin De Bruyne, Fernandinho, Riyad Mahrez, Samuel Edozie and Cole Palmer. Kevin Friend is the referee. 4th official Simon Hooper, and Paul Tierney is the dreaded VAR today. We are underway at the Amex Stadium. All the players took a knee before the match. This month is No Room for Racism month in the Premier League, and that's the campaign the competition continues to support. Brighton in their home strip of royal blue and white striped shirts with blue shorts and white socks. They kick from left to right as we're looking in this first period. City the other way, right to left, and they're wearing their navy, I think 500th strip. Navy shirts, shorts and socks, and this is the kit that just says Man City on the front as opposed to putting the Man City badge on it. Nice kit. Kit, do you like this one?
It's very casual, Tom, I think, isn't it? It's not really a football shirt, in my opinion.
I want at least the club badge for 60 quid.
Well, exactly.
You get an iron-on one. Your mum can iron it on for you.
Absolutely. I know there's a bit of certain clubs, obviously, through the manufacturer's Puma, and they do a lot of clubs, and certain clubs did kick off about it, said they wanted the badge on it.
I think Dortmund kicked off and had the badge put
back on, yeah, which I think is good. I think you should have your club crest or your club badge on the shirt, really.
Didn't expect that question first up, did you?
No, surprised me there.
But you handled it well. Kit Symons.
And definitely, like you say, it's Foden taking up that false 9 position from the start of the game. But as we all know, there'll be a great deal of rotation between that front 6, really. The 3 midfielders as well, the 3 forward players. So, but he's certainly the one who's starting down the middle.
More broadly, as the ball goes into touch for a throw-in, how do you see the game going?
Well, as much as I was sort of waxing lyrical about Brighton, how good they are, I'm expecting City to go and win the game.
It's Brighton coming forward here, though. Moda on the edge of the penalty area, trying to drive his way through a crowd of navy-shirted City players, unable to do so. Aymeric Laporte with the final challenge. João Cancelo with a forward pass to Jack Grealish, who is out on the left-hand side, but well inside his own half at the moment. Back to Laporte, who goes crossfield to Kyle Walker. Down the line to Gabriel Jesus, who's now a winger. Don't ask me. Here's Rodri into Gundogan, who clips the ball back towards Aymeric Laporte, who's left of the 2 central defenders. Gundogan, by the way, is the captain today for Manchester City, with Lewis Dunk, as usual, wearing the armband for Brighton and Hove Albion. 3 minutes gone, it's 0-0. Ball is with Lewis Dunk, who goes back to Robert Sanchez, the regular backup goalkeeper for Spain these days, all in fluorescent yellow, away to our left, and it's Brighton playing the ball out from the back in classic Graham Potter Brighton style. They're up towards the halfway line, and Lallana into Mope, a few yards into City territory. He goes down. Bernardo Silva was the man who put the challenge in. Referee Kevin Friend hasn't given the free kick Brighton's way. He has given one the way of Man City moments later.
I've got to say, Tom, it was really impressive the way Brighton just played out there. Man City adopting their usual high press. The players pushing right on, but Brighton, they're very, very comfortable and controlled in possession, and played their way out of it really, really nicely.
They are one of the highest percentage possession teams in the Premier League, and when they won this game last year, they were playing against 10 men for long stages, but they had near 70% possession against Manchester City when they went on to win it. So there is a blueprint there for Graham Potter to follow, and usually it comes with being extremely competent and confident on the ball. Phil Foden goes down here somewhat easily. The referee gives the free kick Foden's way against Lewis Dunk.
Yeah, it looks like Dunk's pretty much been given that job to man Mark Foden almost. There's a time just a couple of seconds ago where Foden came really, really deep, and when you've got the three centre halves you can afford to go all the way, and Lewis Dunk did that and went very deep with Phil Foden there. He just followed him out to the touchline but gave away a free kick.
Free kick on the sideline. It's about 30 yards from the corner flag, right on the side. Chance for City to swing one in, should they wish to. Shane Duffy, if you missed the team news, has been dropped to the bench today. I think he's been probably Brighton's best performer this season, so that surprised a few. Webster is back and fit, but on the bench as well. As Foden delivers towards the near post, up in the air by Solly March. Recovered by Foden. Brings the ball characteristically out of the sky with a lovely bit of control back towards João Cancelo, the man who was sent off in this game last season. Clip forward towards the run of Jesus. Sanchez gathers and looks to clear quickly, so quickly it's in the back of Lallana's head and nearly got Jesus in. City have kept possession from that error from the goalkeeper deep inside Brighton territory, but the Seagulls have got plenty of players back.
Yeah, he certainly rushed that a bit, Sanchez, and got away with one a little bit there, I think. So, I don't think Graham Potter will be too keen on him doing that too many more times.
Or at the least do it better, because it's certainly a key part of their play. Robert Sanchez, quick delivery and great distribution. It's Jack Grealish attacking his goal here from the left-hand side. Poke towards Gundogan. Interception by Lallana. Veltman at right centre-back will play a clever pass into the feet of Pascal Gross. Here's Solly March down the right-hand side. Can play on both sides. March, a real versatile player for Brighton and Hove Albion, usually at wing-back these days. Last season he and Lamptey were left and right. Lamptey back on the subs bench in the Premier League now. It's a throw-in that's gone Man City's way in front of Pep Guardiola in long winter coat. It has turned a bit cold in the UK over the last couple of days. It's one of those big black multiple tyre looking coats all the way down to the knee level for Guardiola, but no hat today, which is bold for a bald man in this sort of weather, believe you me. Here's João Cancelo coming infield from left back. He finds Jack Grealish attacking the penalty area from the side. Back to Cancelo, takes the early shot, saved by Sanchez down low to his right. Out for a corner on this near side to Manchester City.
Yeah, good move from Man City. Grealish picking up on the wide left-hand side. Went and looked like it was going to be an amazing little dribble, but then just flicked the ball with the outside of his right foot back to Cancelo. Got his shot away, got a bit of a deflection, I think, off Solly March, and ended up being quite a smart save down at his near post by Sanchez. But, looking good, Man City, already in the early stages.
Gundogan with the corner, left-hand side. City's first of the match, whipped in towards the near post, flicked on, away by Byrne. Rodri wins the next header, but it's a looper, and it goes into the grateful arms of the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez.
Yeah, good delivery, really whipped in with pace. I think it was Rodri got a touch on it at the near post, but a good ball in, looking quite dangerous. I mean, Brighton have got decent size and stature for defending set pieces, but when the delivery's that good, it can cause you problems no matter how big you are.
It's really good defending from Dan Byrne at the back post, one of the scorers in that victory last season, as Rodri looks forward trying to find the run of Jesus. Missed control from Jesus through to Sanchez in goal. 8 minutes gone, Brighton 0, Manchester City 0 on Premier League Live. What do you make to Gabriel Jesus being a winger these days?
I quite like him out there, to be honest. I think he's probably more. I feel he's more dangerous in that position, coming from sort of like out to in a little bit. But like I say, I do think as a team they benefit from having an orthodox number 9, which he's not really anyway. Even if when he plays down the middle, he's not necessarily that target man striker. Like I say, he wants to be drifting into the wider areas.
In each of his last 2 starts against Brighton, 3 goals and 4 assists in his last 8 appearances for Manchester City, so in good form in that relatively new position, or at least unexpected for most position, as Gross battles for the ball in the centre circle. Cucurella picks it up on the far side for Brighton Hove Albion, who will look to keep a period of possession here. They will not panic on the ball, but will they be able to work it through the thirds? Forward pass attempted, intercepted briefly by City, but Lallana has won it back for Brighton Hove Albion. Into the feet of Pascal Gross now in the centre circle. Forward to Cucurella. Slightly overruns it. Foul, says the referee, on Cucurella, and that's a Brighton free kick around the halfway line.
It's really good intensity from Brighton. You've got to say, out of possession, as soon as they lose it or give it away, straight away the nearest man goes and presses, and they back him up, and they've always got bodies around the ball, making it difficult for Man City to really settle and get any sort of play going. So City looking dangerous for sure, but I think Brighton has started very well as well, so I think both managers be reasonably happy so far.
And Byrne with a long ball down the left sideline towards the run of Moda, but it's overhit from the big central defender. That's out of play for a throw to City in the right back area. Not afraid to knock it long, are they, Brighton?
No, they do. We're talking about the style of play and the way they like to pass through the thirds, but they'll mix it up as well. And I think that's just sensible football. If everything is short and tippy-tappy, teams can just squeeze the life out of you. They know that's what you're going to do. But if you've got the option of playing long as well, there was a little stage. It was almost like a dirty thing to play a long ball or whatever. You think if it's a good long ball, it's a good thing to do in getting behind the opposition.
From the throw for Brighton, the ball's been given away to Manchester City, and Grealish looks upfield towards Gundogan over the halfway line, left-hand side. Jesus wants it, and he's found here. Gabriel Jesus in the area, saved by Sanchez, off the line by Lewis Dunk. That is simply incredible. Stretching out on the goal line, the skipper with the laces gets it off the line.
Well, that's absolutely brilliant. I mean, it came to Jesus. Great ball to him in the first place, by the way. It comes to him, and you think, get your shot away early, and then he took touches, and the goal seemed to close, but then he managed to get his shot away, and absolutely incredible piece of defending. I think Foden's trying to claim it was over the line. Obviously, the referee's got the goal line technology and didn't flash on his watch, so great bit of defending.
Superb ball from Gundogan into Jesus, who maybe could have taken the shot earlier on. It gave Cucurella and Sanchez the chance to get their bodies in the way. There was a deflection on the way through before the clearance, but superb defending, great instinct from Lewis Dunk to get that one off the line. 11 minutes gone, it's still Brighton 0, Man City 0. Over the top to Grealish, left hand side, Manchester City. Good challenge on him by Joel Veltman, and we may get a chance on our monitors here to see the replay of that clearance. We will, and we'll see how close it was to going over the line. That's about 40% over before it's cleared. Brilliant clearance. Simons-esque, some would say.
Oh, absolutely. He actually does very well, Sanchez, to get anything on it at all. He blocks with his feet, but the ball is certainly going in, and it's right on the line, and it's a real acrobatic bit of defending. So probably not Simons-esque.
Well, it's that kind of defending that's got Brighton one of the best defensive records in the Premier League this season. Only City and Chelsea had better going into this weekend, as Jesus has it now. Foden in the area, shot from him, it's blocked. Sanchez comes out, challenged by Jesus. He thinks he was fouled. Referee doesn't think so, and Man City have scored, and Sanchez is furious. Well, it's 1-0 to Manchester City. Kevin Friend thinks there was no foul in there. Gross and Dunk and Sanchez, Lallana, Solly March, all around the referee. Kevin Friend having their say. Gundogan has tapped the ball home, and VAR will have to sort this out at Stockley Park.
Yeah, it's going to get checked. I don't think it was a foul. I don't think there's a foul in there at all. He's got to be stronger, Sanchez, there. Jesus has got his eyes on the ball, jumps. There's a little bit of coming together, but it's more Sanchez coming into the back of Jesus. Spills it, and it's a very good play then, but it's definitely goal for me.
Well, there was a bit of controversy, wasn't there, with Everton recently, with Rafa Benitez saying that the goalkeeper wasn't particularly protected in the win by West Ham last week. It was a jump from Antonio on Jordan Pickford, and then the referee at the time decided there was no foul by Antonio. Rafa was furious about it. Here it's a similar sort of situation. It looks like Sanchez just jumps towards the ball and drops it. It's poor goalkeeping, and the referee has given the goal. It's 1-0.
Yeah, like I say, it's very much because it was the fact that Jesus is standing still and goes for the ball, and Sanchez is the one moving into the back of him. So definitely not a foul for me. I don't think, Brighton can have too many complaints about it.
Well, it's a second Premier League goal of the season for Gundogan. He's first since the 5-0 thrashing of Arsenal. And it's a tap-in for the captain of Manchester City. And just as we're talking about Brighton's good defence, they give away maybe the softest goal they'll give away all season. And it's bad goalkeeping, Kit. Simple as that.
It was, yeah. You keep. He's a big, strong lad. He's a very good keeper. You just got to be stronger and more dominant in those situations. He come and claim the ball and wipe out the striker, basically.
Robert Sanchez has the ball at feet here. He's the man that's culpable for the opening goal scored by Manchester City. Lovely bit of control there by João Cancelo from the goalkeeper's blast upfield. Ball won back though by Lallana. Cucurella on the halfway tries a return ball, rather sells Lallana short. Gundogan's able to steal it. Crossfield pass to Jack Grealish, overhit though by Gundogan. That's into touch for a throw in.
Yeah, I mean, Brighton have started quite brightly, to be fair. They get a lot of bodies around the ball, but just before the goal, there are a couple of occasions where City are then getting the ball comfortably in the Brighton penalty box and are able to pick passes out, and that's when they become so dangerous. And if Brighton allow the game to get a bit stretched, and City is so dangerous on the counter-attack, as we just saw there from them as well. So Brighton have to just settle down a little bit now, calm down. Conceded a poor goal, like you say, which is unlike them, to be honest, but they need to just calm down and get a foothold in the game again now.
All 5 games in the league when City have taken the lead this season. They've gone on to win every single one of them. Brighton 0, Manchester City 1. 15 minutes gone on Premier League Live. Sanchez into Lallana, facing his own penalty area, finds Veltman, crossfield towards Lewis Dunk. In his own penalty area, brings the ball down, but no pressure on him at this moment in time. Down the line from Dan Burn, intercepted for a moment by Jesus. Comes off the Brazilian for a throw to Brighton on the far side. Brighton now got to find a way to score a goal. So often their problem. And at the moment, despite having plenty of the ball in the game to this point, I'm not sure they've really been over the halfway line, have they?
No, they've not really posed any threat going forward whatsoever. Like I said, they've played out from the back a few times quite nicely and very controlled, but ultimately you've got to get the ball into the Man City danger zone to try and cause them problems.
Sanchez in his own penalty area, looks crossfield towards Burn, brings it down. Burn and finds a pass towards Moda, but it's poorly played towards the right midfielder. It's all the way through to Edison in goal for Manchester City. Kyle Walker finds Bernardo Silva, who turns away from Lallana in the centre circle. Another pirouette to get away from Trossard, but he's still in his own half here, and that's a forward pass straight to Solly March, allowing Brighton to come forward. Down the line to Pascal Gross. 2 in the box to aim for here, Pascal Gross, and finds one of them in Trossard! Oh, he turned beautifully, Leandro Trossard, but hooks his shot well wide.
Much better from Brighton, though. We're just saying they've not had any sort of attack really at the Man City goal, and this was the first one. And as you say, the ball's out wide, and they've got 2 bodies in the box, 2 to aim from. I think he kicks it against his standing foot, Trossard, almost, it looks like, but decent. He takes a good first touch, Trossard, and spins, swivels onto his left foot, but just couldn't control the ball and keep it down. But much better from Brighton. It's
a good opportunity for Brighton. They're not going to get too many today, you feel. Leandro Trossard might have another one here. They've won it back from the goalkeeper. Trossard's delivery in, header towards goal. Moda got it towards goal, not on goal. No real power on the header as well. It's going to be a goal kick. But it's 2 really good chances in quick succession here for Brighton.
Yeah, straight away it's good. It comes from Man City trying to play out from the goal kick. Brighton pressing them very high up the pitch and winning it back. As we saw last week with Leicester against Manchester United. You can score goals from these situations if you press high up the pitch, win it back from goal kicks, and then you've got someone who can finish.
When playing out from the back goes wrong. You see a few every week, don't you? Even Man City can occasionally get it wrong in those scenarios. Coming forward now, though, are Grealish and Foden. And Grealish has found Foden. And Sanchez has blocked him as Foden tried to take it around him. And that's good goalkeeping that time by Robert Sanchez. But City cut through Brighton far too easily there. And that should probably be 2-0.
It was really good chance and should be taken at Phil Foden. I mean, you suddenly see for the first time in the game, you know, it's 2v2 at the back. And you can't afford to do that with Man City. You know, we've been saying about how good Brighton have been defensively, and already in this game there's been quite a few occasions where they haven't defended well and City have cut through them, so they need to get back to that, what stood them well so far this season, and because at the moment they look a little bit shaky.
Yeah, making liars of us at the moment. Maybe Shane Duffy not playing is a contributing factor to that, as Phil Foden streaks away from Cucurella. Then he finds Grealish in the area. Grealish looks to shift and shoot. It's blocked. Jesus saved by Sanchez, almost on the goal line. Still City come. Grealish in the area, left hand side, cuts it back, tries to find Foden. Solly March gives it a wallop into touch.
You do just feel a little bit with this Man City front three, if it falls to any of them, they want to be the one to score rather than maybe set up one of their teammates. So people are, and listen, all good strikers and forward players, they've got that selfish streak in them, but you sort of think they could score so many more goals if they look to link up a bit more, because when they do it, they're just incredible. But at the moment, it's sort of like individuals in there getting these chances, but you think if they really start linking and playing with each other and enjoying sharing the ball with each other, then how much more dangerous they could be.
Here's Jack Grealish, left hand side, 20 minutes gone, level with the penalty area, coming in from the sideline, finds Cancelo, right footed cross, Gross intercepts before Gundogan could score yet another goal. 13 he scored in 2021 for Manchester City. Only Mo Salah and Harry Kane have scored more Premier League goals in this calendar year than Ilkay Gundogan. Then he got another one there. 20 minutes gone, it's 1-0. He is the man on the score sheet at the moment. City pressing, looking for that second goal that may well kill this game off with 70 minutes of it remaining. And we thought that last season when they raced into a 2-0 lead. Brighton came back to win on that occasion. His throw-in is taken by Cancelo to Grealish. Back in their own half is Aymeric Laporte. Good response from Brighton since going down?
Yeah, I think it was certainly initially. They had a couple of sort of chances and looked a little bit more front foot, but then a couple of vulnerable moments then defensively as well. And if City were to get a second goal, you really would feel it would be all over. I mean, you know, certainly today and this season you wouldn't write it off, but it'd be very, very hard for them to come back from a two goal deficit. So initially I think it was a very good response, and it's going to be a far more open game from Brighton than I thought it was going to be. I thought they'd be a bit more closed and sort of not shut up shop, but a bit more sort of defence first and then work their way into the game. But they've gone quite aggressive from the off, and the wing backs are getting quite high. And like I say, a couple of times we've seen Man City be 2 for 2 going towards a Brighton goal. So
Cucurella caught on the far side here by Kyle Walker. Late challenge. Referee tried to play the advantage, tried to play on, unable to do so. We go back to the free kick on the halfway line, and Kyle Walker has been yellow carded by Kevin Friend for that challenge on Cucurella over on that far side.
Yeah, just a little bit late Walker as he came in. Cucurella played the ball and Walker's foot came down onto his ankle, and you could hear the screams from here. So it was a painful one, I think, but no major harm done, no malice from Kyle Walker, just a little bit late.
Doesn't always mean it's a foul when you can hear the screams. That's just the way football seems to have gone as Kyle Walker heads back towards Ederson with Cucurella pressing him hard. Cucurella, 23 years of age, Spanish international, just over £15 million from Getafe during the summer. Has certainly added some good balance to this team over on that far side, with Tarek Lamptey out long term and Solly March going over to this near side, the other side, the right hand side, where Pascal Gross at times and Joel Veltman and Dan Burn have all filled in as wing backs. Here's Mopé finding Trossard, foul on Mopé. Referee has brought it back for offside, so the foul won't be given. neither will the advantage, much to the frustration of Leandro Trossard there. Seeing a replay of it here, and it looks like he's well offside, Trossard. That's the right call from the assistant referee. They only put the flag up when they're sure, and if you can't be sure of that one, you probably shouldn't be the assistant referee. 23 minutes gone. Brighton 0, Manchester City 1 on Premier League Live. Tom Rennie and Kit Simons with you. Do let us know where in the world you're listening to us. At TalkSport Live, the place to do so. If you're listening to us in Ireland, we're going to be chatting to Stephen Ireland at half-time to look back on the first half. If you're with us anywhere else in the world, we'll go through the other games in the Premier League today. There's been some fantastic storylines, including Chelsea scoring 7, Watford scoring 5. Weird old day in the Premier League. We'll hear from our reporters around the country reporting on all those matches. Back here, 24 minutes gone. Pep Guardiola has taken his seat, having been on the edge of his technical area for the majority of the game to this point. His team are in possession. His team are in the lead. They have it with Aymeric Laporte midway inside his own half. Cancelo, who's played every minute of every Premier League game for Manchester City at left back. Back to Laporte, who looks long towards Grealish. Veltman looks like he's got this covered, but Grealish did give him something to worry about for a few seconds. And a play for a throw on this near side. And towards Gross. Not an easy one for Robert Sanchez. Right on the end line, but he's so calm when the ball comes to his feet. Robert Sanchez, it's almost like he's not bothered when he controls the ball, and breeds confidence, it seems, in those around him. Lewis Dunk finds Dan Burn just outside their own penalty area here. Brighton. City are pressing high. Brighton have kept possession. Wouldn't necessarily say they've beaten the press, because when they get to the halfway line they give the ball away. Gundogan into Rodri, running right to left, edging his way forward, leaves it for Cancelo. Cancelo to Grealish. Grealish to Cancelo. Cancelo to Foden, running towards the area. Gundogan lets the ball run across his body. Moda tried to nick it, but it's poked to Kyle Walker. Inside Kyle Walker, then outside with the pass to Jesus. Jesus will find Kyle Walker again. Into Rodri, then to Cancelo. 1-0 to Manchester City, left to Grealish. Good challenge by Adam Lallana on Gundogan, but it breaks luckily for City to Cancelo. Looks to slip in Foden with a lovely, picks it up.
He's the player for me who's been exceptional this season, Bernardo Silva. I think there's obviously a bit of talk about him potentially leaving the football club over the summer. I don't know whether that spurred him on or what, but I think he's been absolutely outstanding this season. And a great ball through then. Just Sanchez was quick off his line to come and smother it, but great vision and beautiful pass.
7 starts in a row in the Premier League, 2 goals scored in that time, Bernardo Silva. One of a few, Kit, who, a bit like Raheem Sterling at the moment, just making the point, I don't want to be in a squad, I don't want to be rotated, I want to play, and if I'm not going to play, I'll play somewhere else.
I mean, unfortunately, the reality is, you know, these days now it's such a squad game. But, you know, players, and rightly so, I think want to play enough football, you know. And I can't say I blame them for that, really.
But there's very much a first team and a second team, isn't there? And the second team might play in the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup.
Yeah. Games
against the likes of Burnley at home last week. I don't know. You want to be playing against the likes of Liverpool and the Champions League matches. Here's Cucurella for Brighton, currently in the Champions League positions, coming forward, left-hand side. Tries to fire a pass into Mope, intercepted by Rodri, and he'll slip it to Bernardo Silva, who can start the counter-attack. And he's played in Grealish, and Brighton are beaten. And Grealish is through. Jack Grealish, square ball, Phil Foden! And that's 2-0 to Manchester City. Fantastic breakaway from the champions. Grealish looked to shoot. In the end, found the pass, and Foden going through. Wasn't going to miss that. 2-0.
Absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Foden initially is in an offside position, so he's got to check his run, and then Grealish makes his run from deep. So difficult for Brighton to defend this. It's played to Grealish. I spoke earlier about the front three linking up. If they did it a bit more, they'd score more goals. Straight away, as soon as Grealish has got this ball, he's looking for Foden. Straight away, his head goes straight up, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant play for him if he can get himself in there, and he does, and finishes with aplomb.
Second Premier League goal of the season for Phil Foden. Scored in that 2-2 draw famously at Liverpool, and has now scored at the Amex Stadium against Brighton hove Albion. And what do you do if you're Brighton? Cucurella was playing a through ball to Mopé in the penalty area. 10 seconds later, they're 2-0 down.
They've got so, like I say, the pace that City can attack with is incredible, and it's so hard to defend against. Now, I spoke earlier about Brighton being sort of quite aggressive, and their wing backs are pushing onto the Man City full-backs, but that does then leave space, and you know, a team like Man City just exploit that space so well.
You say hard to defend against, as Robert Sanchez has the ball on the edge of his own penalty area here, ball at feet, but can it be defended against? Have Brighton defended poorly here?
I think they have at times, to be honest, but for that goal, they're high up the pitch, so their back three, or you know, the back line is on the halfway line, and then suddenly City counter. So I say Grealish, Foden, so he runs offside initially, and they let him go, but then Grealish then
his technical area, as is Graham Potter to his left. No seeming animosity from last season, though thus far. Though if Brighton go on to win 3-2 once again, maybe we'll see angry Pep once again. It's now bearded Potter as opposed to last season. 30 minutes gone, 2-0 to Manchester City. Goals from Gundogan and Phil Foden. Up towards Solly March here from Robert Sanchez. Gundogan intercepts and knocks it back to Laporte. Laporte nearly found Mopé with the back pass there, but just got away with that. Diaz able to get on the second ball. Knocks it back to Edison, who clears it long. Dunk's giving it away. Bernardo Silva's coming forward here. It's 4-on-3 in favour of Manchester City. Jesus away from his man. Finds Grealish in the area. Jack Grealish! Save! Jesus! Save! But it's got in! Poor hand by Robert Sanchez, and Jesus has made it 3-0 in 30 minutes. And we could be on for a rout here of Brighton hove Albion. Man City in second gear are thrashing Brighton. Jesus has scored.
Again, I mean, it's a bit of a soft finish in the end, and Sanchez be really disappointed. He got a decent enough hand to it. Felt he could have done better, but it all came from Lewis Dunk giving the ball away, middle of the park. And suddenly they again breaking so quick. 4 against 4, but then 2 Brighton players go, and we're speaking about them linking up, and they've done it brilliantly the last 10 minutes or so now. I really think he should have saved the final shot, Sanchez. But it's great play, really, really good play. It's initially a good save. I took a bit of a deflection coming through for him, but great feet from Jesus. Plays it wide to Grealish, cuts in his right foot. Sanchez blocks the initial one, back to Jesus. I think it hits Foden, clips Foden, and then puts Sanchez off a little bit, gets his hand to it, but can't keep it out of the goal. But they just look incredible going forward. But saying that, Brighton have caused their own problems with giving the ball away in the middle of the park.
Third Premier League goal of the season for Gabriel Jesus. Third in 3 starts against Brighton for Manchester City for the Brazilian. And they've got a man over. They seem to always have a man over Manchester City, but there's a 5-man back line for Brighton if they want to use it here. They just seem to have kept the wing back so far forward.
Well, like I said,
no one's marking.
Yeah, they go wing backs onto the full-backs for Man City. So, like I said, it's just leaving that space then behind.
Is it naive? I mean, you'd say...
And they're leaving too much space in behind them.
Strong challenge there by Lallana on Jack Grealish. Fans here thought it was a fair one. Referee Kevin Friend did not. It's a free kick to City, about 10 yards inside the Brighton half. It was a firm challenge. There's a collision afterwards, but I'm not too sure that should be a free kick against Adam Lallana on the replay there.
There's a little bit of a tug on his arm to start with, and then Lallana comes in from the other side, and he's almost sort of pushed into Lallana a little bit. So I think maybe a foul, but nothing more than that. Just get on with the game.
Now we enter cruise control maybe for Manchester City. 3-0 they lead with a long, long way to go here. Did you bring a book? Or? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. I'll save that for my journey home. Here's Jesus on the halfway line for Manchester City. Into Foden, intercepted by Moda. Ricochets the way of Lewis Dunk. Gross back to his goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, who's had some good moments and some pretty poor moments in this match so far. And that's better.
Yeah, it was a lot better, but a very good play in the end from Rodri in that defensive midfield role, just trying to screen and intercept. And he does it really, really well. But again, Brighton decent there. They've got bodies in the box for the cross from Kukurea, so plenty of bodies in there. Just couldn't quite find the final ball.
On the attacking left-hand side for Brighton Hove Albion, as they look to find a way back into this game. Ball is delivered towards Lewis Dunk. It's away by Laporte. Jesus heads back to Rodri. Cancelo will now bring City away up towards the halfway line. Challenge on him by Lallana. Brighton retake it into the feet of Dan Burn. Gundogan chasing him down. He's about 2 feet closer to the football than Dan Burn is, but Burn has done well there. Very nimble footwork for someone of his height, Dan Burn. He's done really well to find a release to Veltman. Solly March back to Trossard, halfway line, right to left switch to Cucurella. Good first touch, lovely ball too towards the near post, but Mopé couldn't get there. It goes through to Edison in the Manchester City goal. 3-0, the away team lead with 10 minutes to go until half time.
I mean, this is what Brighton will need to do, is if they're going to keep playing this, get their wing-backs more into the game. I mean, so far, as we discussed, they've pressed the Man City full-backs out of possession, but then leaving spaces in behind. But when they've got the ball, they need to be a little bit more proactive. We've not seen an awful lot of Solly March on the ball at all on the other side. Cucurella has had a little bit, just last 5 minutes or so, put in a couple of crosses, started looking a bit more of a threat.
Here's Jack Grealish, left-hand side. Staying pretty wide here for Manchester City. Cancelo more in field. Here is Cancelo, back to Foden, then to Gundogan. City captain finds Rodri. And Bernardo Silva on to Kyle Walker. They're just so smooth in possession at times, Manchester City. They're 3-0 up, I suppose most teams would be, but they just look like a real machine right now to Pep Guardiola's champions. Here is Grealish, left-hand side again. The £100 million man leaves it for Cancelo. Looks cross-field. Cucurella wants to win this one back, and he does, but only for about half a second. It's straight to Rodri, then to Gundogan. Gundogan finds Jesus, and it's back to the halfway line. And Ruben Diaz. City have started to boss it. Here's Laporte, left to Cancelo. No striker, no matter. They're coming forward again with Cancelo. Phil Foden. They're actually pretty good at pressing the ball, Brighton, this season. Their stats are right up there. They like to get involved, they like to tackle, they've got good shape, they don't concede many goals. And today, nothing's working for them, nothing's happening.
Chances and give it away in bad areas and counter-attacks. And like I said at the start, if this front three really look to find each other and link up and get almost as much enjoyment as setting their mate up as they do as scoring themselves, then good luck for everyone else. And that's what they've gone on and started doing that in this game already for 2 of the goals.
Speaking of scoring, that third goal has now been credited to Phil Foden and not Gabriel Jesus. A shot by Jesus deflected through.
Yeah.
Deflection came off Phil Foden, so he gets the goal.
It was quite a big deflection, and that's what sort of put Sanchez off a little bit. It's off, and he, like I say, did manage to get his hand to it, but the deflection sort of caused him enough problem that he couldn't keep out the net.
Grealish from Man City on the sideline, gets away from Solly March, but his forward pass to Cancelo was overhit just.
Yeah, and he's taking a bit more care there because he's got such great quality. Just try to flick it with the outside of his foot. Jack Grealish, Cancelo would have been in if there's a slightly better ball, a little less weight on it. But like I say, he has got so much quality, and I think I don't think we've sort of seen the best of him in a Man City shirt yet. I think he's going to get better and better as his time at the club goes on.
One goal in his appearances so far, but a few assists, including tonight.
Yeah, he's done very, very well tonight.
Not lacking in confidence, is he?
No, he's not a shy boy.
And that's what you need if you're going to play for Manchester City. That's what you need if you're going to live up to a £100 million price tag. So far tonight, at least, he certainly has done. Brighton have had so much of the ball in their own penalty area. Robert Sanchez again here has it from a defender. This time he tries to go a bit longer. Straight into touch. 40 minutes gone. 39 minutes, 50 seconds. Brighton 0, Man City 3. And it's all gone a bit flat inside the Amex Stadium in Falmouth, just a few miles away from the south coast. Only about a 5-minute walk from East Slope, where I used to live at Sussex University. We could all go for a quick pint in the East Slope pub if we leave at half time. Onto the Grapevine for a Swifty afterwards, straight down the hothouse.
Memories, eh, Tom? Memories.
I'm sure they've all got much cooler names these days. I'm sure all the 18-year-olds would really enjoy our presence there. The Cannavals. Anyway, we're just meandering in conversation because the game is getting somewhat meandering here, as I think both teams will be quite happy to get to half-time here. Brighton are in City territory. Cucurella by the corner flag, tries a cross, it's blocked. Goes for a corner. What would a goal mean here for Brighton just before half-time?
Hope, basically. I think it'll give them certainly give them a bit of a lift and a bit of hope. And like you say, you know, they turned it around last season from being behind. So if they were to get a goal, then it would give them something to cling on to and maybe build from. But they look like they're really at it and mean business today, Man City.
March with the corner. Right across the penalty area, breaks to Jesus on the edge, who tries to start the counter. Trossard wants to stop him. Jesus heads on to Cancelo. Lallana with another strong challenge to get Brighton back on the ball on the halfway line. Important one too, as Foden and Gundogan and others were getting forward there. Brighton retake possession instead.
It was a really important challenge from Lallana because, again, it's Brighton.
It hit Moda into March, back to Moda, cross is blocked. Gross now picks it up. Bit of complacency there for Manchester City. Burn down the line, left-hand side. Moda to March. March with the shot! Saved by Edison. Comes off the fingertips. Could have gone anywhere. Picks up the bouncing ball.
Yeah, a couple of glimpses of Rodri there. He gave the ball away initially, and then Solly March just cut inside him far too easy. Got his shot away, and Edison fumbled it a little bit, but was quick to get back after it.
Well, that's the first real sight of goal Brighton have had. Edison makes a save. Goal could have made such a big difference there for Brighton, but they just seem to lose confidence when they got into the penalty area, something that's often talked about in terms of Brighton. Get in the area, they've got to take the chances when they come, because bizarrely for a good football team they don't. This one there. A couple of minutes till half time. 3-0 to Manchester City for those just joining us. Foden with a couple of goals, Gundogan with the first, the goal that really changed the game. Mistake by the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, allowing Gundogan a tap in.
Yeah, so Foden now, as this false nine, is on for a hat-trick. So
I always say
who needs a striker? Who needs a striker?
Well, chance here for Jesus is found by Foden. He was sort of slipping over. Dan Burn may have fouled him on his way through there. Nothing given. We play on with Brighton once again with smart possession, but in their own half. Poor ball from Lallana. Burns for one over. No free kick given. Lallana has robbed it back again. And lots of good tackling today, Adam Lallana, but that's about it. Cucurella then jumps to the ground and maybe gets the free kick there just for the screen.
Well, Dan Burns going absolutely mental at Kevin Friend, thinking he should have got a free kick.
Should he?
Yeah. I think so. It's a slip initially, but then Bernardo Silva puts his sort of leg between Dan Burns' legs as he's going down, and he's a big old boy when he goes down. Dan, obviously, and he struggles getting back up then, and I think it was a foul. Should have given it. Kevin Friend, I think he missed that.
Wasn't given, but you feel like because it wasn't given, and then the next decision came, Kevin Friend might have given the second one, which was a bit soft, because the first one, he might have regretted it.
I think so, yeah.
Which does happen. And it's a nice way of giving the free kick, but no one has to admit they're wrong.
Exactly. We can all get on with the game.
Moda back to Dan Burn. That's an awful pass from Burn. And straight to Gundogan. A chance here for 4-0. Foden on a hat-trick. Foden with a shot. Saved by Robert Sanchez to his right. And Foden puts his hands to his mouth as he feels, quite rightly, that was a massive, massive chance for a first-half hat-trick.
Yeah, it was. He came in on his favoured left foot, but I think it was Jesus just on the outside of him. He was in an even better position and probably should have looked to have played in, but you'd fancy Phil Foden on his left foot, clean strike at goal from about 16 yards out, or maybe even closer than that, and should have done a bit better, but it didn't really trouble Sanchez too much in the Brighton goal.
City have given the ball away again here. Gundogan midway inside his own half. Brighton can't do anything with it. Leandro Trossard found by Mopé. Rodri intercept, and he'll release Gundogan. 2 minutes added on at the end of the opening 45. We're a minute or so into the first of those, as Grealish carries City back into his own half. Back down the sideline to Cancelo. You'll find Rodri, who chips cross field to the right hand side, and Gabriel Jesus. Bernardo Silva turns away from Lallana. Green grass to run into here. Bernardo Silva cross field to the left, and Jack Grealish. Last chance of the half. Grealish shifts and shoots on target from Grealish. He wants to do that one over and over again. Telegraphed it. Sanchez makes the easy save.
Yeah, a couple of big chances for Man City in the last couple of minutes. You just get the feeling there's certainly more goals in this game. Brighton are still sort of huffing and puffing, but haven't really done enough going forward. And some of the defending, that previous chance we were just talking about came from another giveaway. Dan Burn giving away easy possession. And the form City look to be in at this moment in time, and especially tonight, you just can't afford to do that.
That's your half-time whistle at the Amex Stadium, and thus far it's been a cruise for Manchester City. Ilkay Gundogan capitalising on Robert Sanchez's mistake, giving City the lead. Phil Foden doubled things up on 28 minutes after a good break involving Jack Grealish, and then Foden scored another. Not that he knew a great deal about it, deflecting Jesus' shot into the back of the net. At half-time, it's Brighton 0, Manchester City 3. Analysis to follow. Stay with us. You're listening to Premier League Live.
You wouldn't think so now. I mean, there was a little spell towards the end of that first half where they had maybe a half chance here or there. You thought if they were to get a goal then, that might give them some hope and something to cling on to, but so there's always a chance and there's always hope, but I would be absolutely amazed if Brighton were to come back into this game.
We shall see. Kit for the moment, thank you very much indeed. Elsewhere today, a whole bunch of great results and great games in the Premier League. Chelsea 7-0 victors against Norwich, 1-1 between Crystal Palace and Newcastle. Watford went to Everton and won by 5-2. Leeds 1, Wolves 1 and Southampton 2, Burnley 2. Let's put some meat on the bones of some of those score lines, and maybe the most surprising was Claudio Ranieri's Watford winning at Everton. Incredible game of football. It was watched for us by Tim Long.
Watford Wonderland. The Claudio Ranieri reign up and running in emphatic fashion. A fast and ferocious encounter in which big decisions of both managers were well rewarded. A lethal counter-attack down the left inside the opening 3 minutes, seeing Tom Davies give Everton the lead from close range after being given his first start of the campaign, his first goal in nearly 2 years. And you'd usually back a Rafa Benitez side to protect a lead, but Josh King tore up that script just 10 minutes later, a poacher's finish at the back post. The Norwegian, one of 3 changes made by Claudio Ranieri, repaying that faith by giving the Italian manager his first goal since taking charge. But there was plenty more to come. Benitez next to be rewarded as former Watford striker Richarlison put Everton ahead again just 3 minutes after he was introduced from the bench. But Jure Kutska then headed home a corner on 78 minutes to get Watford level again. And that was the first of 4 Hornets goals in the space of 13 minutes to sting Everton hard. King, cool and composed on 80 and 86, completed his hat-trick, and Ranieri's sub, Emmanuel Dennis, who'd been dropped in favour of King, finished the flurry in added time. A first win as Watford boss for Claudio Ranieri, and a 5th straight win for the Italian at Goodison Park, as Everton lose for a 6th time in the last 9 home games against a newly promoted side. The final score in a fabulous game, Everton 2, Watford 5.
Tim Long reporting earlier today. Elsewhere, Crystal Palace against Newcastle was watched for us by Russell Hargreaves.
Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 1. The Eagles denied a second league win of the season under Patrick Vieira after Christian Benteke's late winner was ruled out rightly by VAR. The big Belgian had enjoyed a typically mixed game to that point, firing home the game's opener, which did stand, then hitting post and bar, missing a sitter, and also acrobatically firing narrowly over from distance. Newcastle were forced to large, well spotted and quickly dealt with by the men at Stockley Park in conjunction with referee Darren England. So it's a 6th draw in 9 Premier League games for the home side, while the Toon at least muster a point in Graham Jones's first match in temporary charge, but winless in the league all season and still second bottom. Rest assured that that's not a situation the club's new Saudi Arabian owners will accept for long. Full time in front of a boisterous atmosphere at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 1.
Russell Hargreaves reporting to Ellen Road now. Leeds against Wolves, John Howick.
A last-gasp draw rescues a point for injury-hit Leeds as Wolves are denied the chance to win 4 on the spin. The visitors took the lead through their new South Korean striking sensation, Hee Chang-hwang, who took his chance well after the ball broke kindly into the box after the opening 10 minutes, his 4th goal of the season. Leeds saw most of the ball as Wolves were happy to try and see out their lead. The home side grew frustrated though as they struggled to carve out solid chances for most of the game. In the second half, young striker Joel Gelhardt impressed coming off the bench as Leeds went in search of an equaliser. It was his mazy run at the death that saw him tangle with Nelson Semedo inside the box and earn Leeds an injury time penalty, which Rodrigo coolly converted to split the points here at Ellen Road. Final score, Leeds 1, Wolves 1.
Yeah, important point for both, you feel, at Ellen Road today. What about Southampton against Burnley? Watch for us by Andrew Self.
It finished here at St Mary's, Southampton 2, Burnley 2. I was worried about this game, but what an excellent encounter it turned out to be. The action was pretty much non-stop, and it was the Clarets that took the lead when an excellent Loughton cross was glanced in by the forehead of Cornet. Southampton roared back into the game, but looked very nervous at the back. They levelled when star pupil Livramento headed in from a corner shortly before the break. Not long after, he'd hit the inside of the post, and Redmond had missed the proverbial sitter. In a game that both sides would have earmarked as potential 3 points, it was Southampton who took the lead when Armando Broja fired in after a Tarkowski error. They led for just 7 minutes when good approach work by Burnley saw Cornet rifle in his second from 24 yards. It was a point apiece for the two sides, but Sean Dyche's point maybe savoured a little more than Ralph Hasenhüttl's. At St Mary's, Southampton 2, Burnley 2.
Also today, Chelsea beat Norwich by 7-0. Here it's Brighton 0, Man City 3. Second half to come. You're listening to Premier League Live.
From the terraces to the touchline, if you're the ultimate football fan, you need to subscribe to the Game Day podcast from Talk Sport.
Oh yes! He's done it again!
It's the twice-weekly Premier League roundup that brings you big-name guests, in-depth
Brighton Hove Albion against Manchester City from the Amex Stadium. I'm your host Tom Rennie. With me for this one is the former City defender Kit Simons. This is Premier League Live. Half-time scoreline 3-0 to Manchester City. Ilkay Gundogan with the first goal, Phil Foden with the second and the third, giving the scoreline a very comfortable feel at this stage in proceedings. We're just waiting for the two teams to emerge from the tunnel for the start of the second half. We're not hearing there are any changes as yet for either side. What have Brighton got to do here, Kit, in the opening 5, 10, 15 minutes of this half to get back in this game?
Well, they've got to try and get a goal from somewhere, obviously, which is not going to be easy. I mean, they had a few sort of half chances, but I mean, City were so dominant in that first half. It'd be interesting to see if Graham Potter does adopt a change of formation, because it didn't seem to be working, certainly, and they were causing themselves problems, and City were causing them a host of problems and creating chances almost at will. I think there's like 14 attempts, 9 on target in that first half from Man City, so Brighton will have to try and adjust and stop that happening in the second period. But like I say, to get back into the game, they've got to be a bit more front foot and start taking chances themselves, Brighton. But if they do that, they're going to leave themselves open, and the form Man City are in, you can see more goals.
Here are the teams then, starting with Brighton Hove Albion. In goal, Robert Sanchez. Back three, Dan Burn, Lewis Dunk and Joel Veltman. Marc Cucurella and Solly March on the wings. Adam Lallana, Yakamoto, Pascal Gross, midfield trio, Leandro Trossard and Neil Mopé, the front two, Trossard behind Mopé. On the bench, Jason Steele, Tariq Lamptey, Adam Webster, Aaron Connolly, Yves Suma, Alexis McAllister, Enoch Mwepu, Shane Duffy and Taylor Richards. For Manchester City, Ederson in goal, back four, João Cancelo, Aymeric Laporte, Ruben Dias and Kyle Walker. Midfield, Gundogan, Rodri and Bernardo Silva. Gundogan, the captain of City. And up front, Phil Foden through the centre, Jack Grealish, Gabriel Jesus supporting from the wings. On the bench, Zach Steffen, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Alexander Zinchenko, Kevin De Bruyne, Fernandinho, Riyad Mahrez, Samuel Dozy and Cole Palmer. City coming forward already here with João Cancelo. Shot comes in. Just across the penalty box there from João Cancelo, deflected on its way through, says our referee Kevin Friend, and that's an early corner to Manchester City.
Yeah, straight away City have sort of started off where they left off in the first half, looking very threatening, and linking up the edge, just a deflection of Lewis Dunk as the shot came in, and a Man City corner which will be taken left-footed by Phil Foden.
City attacking the goal away to our right in this second half. Corner taken, Phil Foden, crossed by Bernardo Silva, away by Byrne. Lallana helps it clear as far as Trossard. Onto Mopé, battling Grealish for the ball. Won by Grealish, and a bit of afterness between the two as well. Mopé cutting a frustrated figure. City back on the ball. City navy shirts, navy shorts, navy socks. It's that kit you would have seen on the back pages with no crest or badge on the shirt, but it does say Man City in big bold letters across the chest in case you weren't sure who the team was. Brighton kick the other way, right to left as we're looking. They're wearing their home strip with badge, and it's blue and white stripes, blue shorts and white socks. Free kick City on the halfway line, taken quickly, inexplicably, just given straight back to Robert Sanchez.
I've got no idea what they were trying to do there, to be honest. I'm amazed, Tom. There we go.
Maybe it was off his line in some way and we couldn't see it. Either way, it was a pretty poor free kick.
It was notable, the award of the free kick was Veltman coming in and absolutely clattering Grealish. So I think they've had would have been strong words in that Brighton dressing room at half time, and like what we were saying, you know, you've got to be laying a glove on the opposition and getting in their faces and make it very uncomfortable. So Veltman certainly did that for Grealish at the start of this second half, but doesn't seem to be any sort of change in formation or anything from Brighton at the moment.
Foden forward, Gundogan on the ball. Down the left-hand side, he finds Jack Grealish on the sideline, running at Veltman. All Man City in the opening exchanges here. Grealish finds Gundogan. Slight miscontrol, but City still have it. Cancelo on the far side. Into Phil Foden. On a hat-trick, Phil Foden tries the snap shot that would have secured that trio of goals, but this time fails to execute. That's a goal kick.
Yeah, this is where they're so dangerous, though, if they can get actual good possession in the opposition's penalty box and then pick someone out unmarked, which they did on that occasion for Phil Foden. Good ball from Cancelo into him, but he just couldn't really get hold of his shot properly. But very dangerous, very threatening for Man City.
Not seen a great deal from Brighton, considering they are trailing by so many goals here at the start of this half.
No, like I say, Veltman just whacked Grealish, giving away a free kick, but that's the only bit of intent or anything we've seen so far.
Here is Dan Byrne on the edge of his own penalty area, where they've had so much possession in this game. It's near 50-50 possession, but the only place Brighton have had it is in this area, around their own penalty area, and City at the moment are Brighton Hove Albion. But is it unfair of us to ask for more than that, considering the opposition they're facing and the massive gulf between the quality of the two squads?
Yeah, I think now the scoreline in this stage of the game, like I say, if Brighton, you expect them to be a little bit more.
They've given the ball away. Now a chance here for Solly March. Looks to slip in Mopé. Cross is blocked by Ruben Dias, who also prevents the corner as well. Takes a dive, trying to get a free.
Mopé as well. Yeah, I mean, the chances both ends, like Jesus running into the box, but definitely nothing in that for me. And yeah, Mopé would have been free if he could have been found then, but just couldn't quite get the ball away.
Sean Dyche would have been proud of that. Through ball there, long one, over the top. You've got to go a little bit direct sometimes. And that's what Brighton have done at times, and it's worked at times. From the throw-in, they've given the ball away, and it's a goal kick. Do they have that change-up? They used to have Glenn Murray, of course, Brighton, but they used to be able to go long too. Don't really have any other way. I mean, the long ball down the channel is working, but as we've seen...
Ever really advocate long ball football, although if that's what your best threat is, you know, nothing wrong with it. You can use it, that's for sure.
Brighton just don't look threatening at the moment. Manchester City certainly do. They're 3-0 up and they want more. Here's Bernardo Silva approaching the penalty area, turns away from Trossard. A little pirouette from Bernardo Silva, finds João Cancelo. Cancelo on towards Foden. Foden's cross towards Jesus. Can't get over Dan Burn. Not much will. It's out for a corner though.
Yeah, you do fear it's going to be a long afternoon for these Brighton players now. See Lamptey's just being spoken to. A couple of substitutions look like they could be happening in a very near future for Brighton. I mean, as we said, they've got to do something to try and change up. Tom, it's difficult to make huge tactical changes that are going to cause City problems without opening themselves up a little bit.
At the moment, they can't get into the game. Brighton Hove Albion. Corner comes in. Chance for Ruben Dias, who flicks towards goal. Caught with ease by the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. They don't to come on. He's come back after nearly 10 months out in the Carabao Cup recently. Was playing so well in that wing-back role before getting injured, as was this man Solly March, who goes cross-field to Cucurella, who's kept it in really well here, and it's into Trossard in the area for Brighton. Good close control, challenge Jesus, back to Cucurella, can't get things up. Much better though from Brighton.
Yeah, it was a clever ball from Cucurella as well. He's breaking down the left channel, and there's no one really in the box, and he manages to do the cutback for Trossard, which is a really clever play.
Here he is again, Cucurella, with that bouncing hairstyle into Pascal Gross. Veltman now, found by March. Veltman towards the area, cross comes in, up in the air from Rodri. Brought down by Solly March. Good ball to Leandro Trossard, corner of the area, left-hand side. Trossard shifts and crosses. Brought down by Pascal Gross! Shot on target, saved by Ederson. Mopé can't get the rebound. Ederson out to snap.
Ederson spills it a little bit, but much better from Brighton, and you can just sense it now. It's got the crowd a bit more interested and backing their team a bit more now as well.
Shot was rather straight at Ederson, as you say, but that was a tough one to hold for the goalkeeper. Couldn't do it. Mopé maybe could have got there a touch quicker. That's the best of Brighton we've seen in this match so far. 55 minutes gone, 10 minutes the second half. Brighton 0, Manchester City 3. It'll just be for fun. I'm sure Guardiola would enjoy it. Here's Phil Foden on a hat-trick. Cross-field to Cancelo. Slight miscontrol, but no harm done. Cancelo cross-field. City retaking control of the match after a couple of concerning moments. Jesus can't get away from Cucurella. It's back to Kyle Walker, who goes cross-field to Aymeric Laporte. Back to Ruben Dias. Into Foden. Nice turn. Challenged by Burn. Right on it with Lallana. Forward to Leandro Trossard. Trossard onto Moda. Moda down the line to Solly March, who's got the pace on Kyle Walker. That's not easy. Here is Solly March. That's really good play. Cross comes in. It's behind Mopé. And no one else is up there for Brighton, and City bring it away.
Yeah, it's difficult for him really. It's only, as you say, Tom, there's only Mopé in the box, and he tried to pick him out, but once it's gone past him, then there's no one else coming in, and City defend it easily.
Referee's blown his whistle here. Veltman adjudged to have found Jack Grealish. Fouled Jack Grealish even. Grealish, wry smile. Kevin Friend's given it. Veltman can't believe it. Seemed like a foul, to be fair.
Yeah, as we said, that was Veltman on Grealish to start the second half, where he absolutely clattered him. So there's like a wry smile from Jack Grealish there to just let Veltman know he's in control of the game.
A couple of changes here then for Brighton. Tariq Lamptey does make his return, and that's well received by the Brighton fans. He came on against Norwich recently, played in the League Cup against Swansea, and good to see him back in Premier League action once again. He comes off a Dan Burn. That's one change. The other change is Neil Maupay is withdrawn for the midfielder Enoch Mwepu, the box-to-box central midfielder they brought in, many feel, as a replacement for Yves Bissouma should he be sold. That will be a bit of a rejig. We'll try and assess that in the next few moments, but they've kind of got no striking in mind.
Yeah, it was, and it was good link-up play as well. They had bodies in and around the box, so again, better from Brighton. So maybe they're looking at, Man City scored 3 goals without a striker. We'll try and do the same. Who knows?
What do you make of the 2 changes? Maupay and Burn withdrawn. Maupay especially quite interesting.
Yeah. I mean, he had a fairly quiet game, to be honest. Couldn't really get himself into it too much. So on tonight's performance and reflection on his contribution, not massively surprised really, and he seemed to be, he took it well and sort of sprinted off the pitch and shook hands and stuff. So I don't think there's any big problem there, that's for sure.
We are in the age of the converted winger becoming a striker. It's Solly March who's now gone up top alongside Leandro Trossard. We talked earlier on about his incredible versatility, Solly March. To my mind, I've not seen him play up front. I'm sure there'll be Brighton fans screaming at their radio now saying he has done it. It's an interesting decision by the boss, Graham Potter. He has got Aaron Connolly still on the bench, who is maybe more used to playing that position, but isn't particularly a goal threat when he does. 60 minutes gone here. Brighton 0, Man City 3. Another good challenge by Lallana, punished by the referees. Very much enjoying getting stuck in today, Adam Lallana.
Looks like they're almost playing like a 4-4-2 now.
It's a late challenge there by João Cancelo on Tariq Lamptey. Lamptey got the ball first, Cancelo took him out, and João Cancelo joins Kyle Walker in the referee's notebook for that challenge.
Yeah, I think that's one that looks worse than it was. Lamptey's so quick, and he gets his foot there first and onto the ball. Cancelo's coming across and sort of catches him, where he's like quick and fairly slight. Lamptey then spins round in the air. But no, I think Kevin Friends had a good game tonight, and I think he got that call right with the yellow card for Cancelo. He certainly was late, but it was more Lamptey being so quick to get there first.
Yeah, it might did take Lamptey some good that as well, considering how long he's been out. Made his comeback, as I mentioned earlier on, in that game against Norwich City. Started a game in the League Cup and is on the Carabao Cup, and is now back in the Premier League team for the second time. And on you come back from a hamstring injury, a few kicks, a few scrapes, and a few 50-50 runs like this one, which João Cancelo might do him good. Cancelo slides in to win it, throw in Brighton.
Yeah, well, certainly the changes seem to have spurred Brighton into life a little bit. Got a crowd going a little bit, so hopefully we're going to have a lively end to the game. I can't see anything other than a City win, obviously, but your Brighton have been a bit better the last 5 minutes or so.
Here's Moda, finds Cucurella, left-hand side, dummies to cross, keeps possession, back to Moda, into Mwepu, back to Moda, good football, Leandro Trossard! Great save, Edison. Rather straight at him once again, but he got a big hand to it. It bounced down, it bounced up, could have gone anywhere. Gone for a Brighton corner.
Yeah, it was. It was a good save. It's sort of like a scruffy save. He sort of like hit the underside of his body, and he had no idea where it was going. Luckily for him, it went wide of the goal for a corner to Brighton. But good play from Brighton. This
corner taken, cross comes in, cleared away by Ruben Dias. Another corner forthcoming, right hand side, Pascal Gross. 62 minutes gone, 3-0 to Manchester City. Brighton coming forward, attacking the goal away to our left here. Ball comes in towards Lewis Dunk, who chests it down, returns it to Pascal Gross, who is offside, and that's the end of that period of attack.
Yeah, City will just want to calm it down again now and get a bit of possession, I think, and sort of draw Brighton out a bit more now, and then try and exploit the spaces that they leave. But Brighton have been good last 5 minutes or so. See that chance again from Trossard. He strikes it really, really cleanly with his left foot, and he sort of pushes it down, Edison, with the save, and it goes back behind him, but luckily just enough on it to make it go wide of the goal.
It's a little bit of fortune, as you say there, as the ball could have gone anywhere from that first save. Komoda has brought down on-rushing Cancelo here, and will become the first Brighton player booked by Kevin Friends. In fact, it was Rodri brought down there, Moda.
Yeah, just a pull of the shoulder to stop the counter-attack, and obviously the referees have been given the guidance now that those are yellow cards.
Fouls?
To stop the counter-attack, like that, yeah.
The old Fernandinho foul.
Absolutely.
That he inexplicably got away with for about 7 years. On the bench today, Fernandinho. He'd have been proud of that. Ball's back with Edison now. City try and take the sting from this game once again. Brighton had just built up a bit of a head of steam. Gundogan forward. Grealish infield away from Tariq Lamptey, who stays with him. Kyle Walker, bit of space. Driving at Cucurella. Kyle Walker in the area, cuts it back. Lamptey intercepts. And Mwepu can bring Brighton clear. And he's still going here, you know, and Mwepu, before his pass, was pretty poorly placed, the Zambian. Trossard's run over on this near side. Ruben Dias had to do something with it. It wasn't going into touch. He had to get there, and he does. Knocked it out for a throw, which Cucurella takes to Trossard. More like it from Brighton. More we expected from Brighton Hove Albion. Moda driving in the area. Brilliant skill! Gets the shot away too. It's blocked by Kyle Walker. And that's going to be another corner for Brighton, this time on the left.
Yeah, really good play again. Great feet. Great feet. Absolutely breaking into the box from Moda. I mean, just the change of shape seems to have improved Brighton wholesale, and they look much more of an attacking threat now.
March's delivery, swung in. Dunk wins the second header. Rodri the third, Diaz the fourth. And Rodri gets the clearance upfield as far as Lamptey. Lamptey on the right to Pascal Gross. Tries a reverse pass to Lamptey. That's a really good ball too. Here is Lamptey trying to get around Jack Grealish. Can't do so, but keeps possession. A few step overs from Lamptey, and he's still going. Lamptey, brilliant from Lamptey. Cross comes in, Jesus away. Moda brings it down. Solly March now. Cucurella on the overlap with the cross, blocked by Gabriel Jesus. Another corner. Unbelievable stuff from Lamptey over on that far side.
Yeah, brilliant from the young lad there. Fantastic. He's you know, I think he's been really, really missed from Brighton. He just makes you smile when you see him, the way he plays football. It's brilliant, and he was like just so aggressive in his play there. Just wanted to get the cross in and was going to do anything he needed to do so. So brilliant play from Lamptey.
Corner taken short. Trossard's chip cross comes in, caught with ease by Edison.
And he's one of them. He's got his home crowd really going as well. You know, people love seeing him on the ball because he's just so direct and positive all the time.
Well, still plenty of game to go. The score is 3-0 to Man City. 65 minutes gone. Brighton certainly improved the last 5-10 minutes or so. The changes have given them a big boost. Just wonder where they were for the first 45 minutes. This Brighton team is Mwepu. He looks to carry Brighton upfield again, midway inside City territory. Signed from Red Bull Salzburg for around £10 million during the summer. And a bit of a groin problem for a couple of weeks, but he's now back in the squad as Man City win this throw, much to the annoyance of the home crowds. No, it has gone for a throw to Brighton in the end. I think they were actually claiming a corner over on that far side. That's what's annoyed the supporters. Cucurella would take the throw.
He certainly brought a bit of physicality to their midfield, Mwepu. And I think they miss Basuma and the energy that he gives them. But Mwepu's done very well since he's come on.
Kyle Walker wins the ball from the throw. Once again, the home crowd unhappy. They think Walker took that over the end line for a corner, which wasn't given. Clears it long. Sanchez has it. Brighton take the ball on the halfway line. Well, you wouldn't quite believe it was 3-0 to Manchester City if you just watched the last 10 minutes, would you?
You certainly wouldn't. No, you're talking about a response from Brighton. What can they do now? Even if they end up losing this game by this current scoreline of 3-0, it's been a much better second half, and they'll take something from it. If they allow the game to fizzle out, and then it would be a huge disappointment about the result and the performance.
Here's Trossard finding Cucurella. Cucurella's ball right across the penalty area behind 4 Brighton players, but Lamptey picks it up. Solly March back to Lamptey. Lamptey's cross, trying to find a Mwepu, cleared by Diaz, back to Lamptey. Here's Solly March on the right, finds Moda on the left. Jakob Moda's cross is pretty weak. Ruben Dias gives it a thump clear. recovered by Lewis Dunk. Foden chasing him down. Got to be careful here, Lewis Dunk, and he was, to find the pass back to Robert Sanchez with the ball. Here is Sanchez, forward to Lallana, who turns away from Bernardo Silva. Word that Kit's used a few times, hope. And that's what they need here. Over the top to Solly March. Here's the Andrew Trossard. Chip ball returns to Solly March. Rodri intercepts. Walker goes down. Free kick, Man City. Trossard's got the ump about it. Not sure why. He was suckered in there.
Yeah, he was. Kyle Walker was looking for the free kick, and Trossard hand on the back. Walker goes down and will relieve a bit of pressure now.
Brighton fans don't like it. Kyle Walker rather milking it.
15 minutes or so since they made those changes, looks like Walker's just I don't know if he actually fell on the ball. He looks a bit winded. I think, as you said, Tom, I think he's probably milking it a little bit. But
again, the home crowd don't like it. This time Lallana is booked, but I think more for his complaints to the referee than the challenge itself.
Yeah, more for the reaction. I mean, he definitely kicked him. Gundogan, yeah. So it's, like I say, it's probably not a yellow card for the
You've got to love
tackle.
footballers, Kit, haven't you? You've got to love them.
I think the bookings, like as you said, Tom, for the reaction rather than for the actual tackle. But they're sort of like, because they're on the front foot, they want the game to keep going. But they're making, City are suckering them into making some silly challenges, and they'll be quite happy to slow the game down, Man City.
Here's Bernardo Silva trying to get away from Lallana. Not an easy thing to do today. This time he's not given the free kick to Man City, the referee Kevin Friend. Brighton retake possession, where they will play it back to Sanchez. Lewis Dunk round the corner, first time to Moda, is a tricky pass to achieve in that area. He's done it well. On to Trossard, first time to Cucurella, who goes down. Home crowd want a foul again. Once again, it's not given by Kevin Friend.
No, again, something this year the referees have been told to increase sort of tolerance levels and keep the game flowing. And I think it's just so much better for the game. You want to see little challenges and comings together in there. Now, obviously, no ridiculous fouls. We all get that. We want the player safety's got to be paramount.
9. This one is a bit too heavy for the Brighton man. It goes all the way through to the goalkeeper Edison.
Yeah, they have. They've looked much more of a threat on the front foot. Lamptey, great interception there.
He's beating Grealish to it, but his through ball towards Solly March was overhit. March slid in and won it back, and he forces Aymeric Laporte into the area there through sheer tenacity. That's a corner for Brighton. Another change for Brighton as well. The last one they're going to be able to make here. Pascal Gross is the man withdrawn. And Alexis McAllister, another offensive midfield player, comes on. That's the final change they can make. So they are going to stay strikerless for the 18 minutes that remain. Well, City in the first half at times looked irresistible. Brighton have grown and grown and grown into this game, and I wonder just how much they're going to live to regret that Robert Sanchez mistake for 1-0. It really changed everything here as the ball comes in near post. It was a first touch for McAllister. Probably shouldn't have let him take that corner. Lamptey retrieves it for Brighton, who have possession once again. They've had the majority of the ball now, Brighton, in the game. Just ticked over to 51% to Manchester City's 49. Over the top to McAllister, that one's going to go into touch.
Yeah, like we said, Tom, certainly since those changes, it's been Brighton and the team who are on the front foot and hustling and harrying Man City every time they're on the ball, forcing mistakes from them. And first half, it was the other way round. It was Brighton who were making or being forced into making these mistakes.
But City made something of those errors. Can Brighton now? And Wepu, ball clipped into him. And he tried a first-time left-footed volley towards goal, and why not? But
yeah, really,
the ball with him.
It was a great run from really nice ball. Makes his run from deep, and it's one of those. It's got to be an absolute worldie to connect with that one across your body on your weaker foot, and it was just never going to happen. And he made no contact on the ball at all in the end. Would have been better trying to bring it down and bring someone else into play. Brighton, Lamptey again.
Snapping in. And here's Solly March with the shot. And once again, they get to the final third. And the shot is poor. And that'll give City a chance to make a change here. And maybe it's a an indication about how this game's gone the last few minutes or so. Ilkay Gundogan, the man who scored the opening goal, is withdrawn. Fernandinho, the veteran midfielder, comes on to make his 251st Premier League career appearance.
But again, brilliant from Lamptey, just going back from just real front foot. The ball was played into Grealish, and Lamptey snapping and looking to get in front of him, and he did, and won the ball back. And then it comes to Marsh, who comes in on his left foot, his favoured left foot. But Lamptey's made an overlap down the outside. He probably should have played him in, but you can't blame Sonny Marsh for taking on a shot on his left foot. But unfortunately for Brighton and him, couldn't hit the target.
Fernandinho, in the final year of his contract, signed a 1-year extension and is probably on his way out of the club come the end of this campaign, a dwindling force in the first 11 after a dominant period for the majority of his near decade here. Was once the Makelele role, certainly became the Fernandinho role, and that Fernandinho yellow card as well. So someone can check the provenance of Kit Simon's knowledge to let us know at TalkSport Live, the place to do so. Brighton on the ball on the halfway line. Lewis Dunk, as they look to try and get a goal that would certainly make things interesting for the final exchanges here. They've had a decent amount of chances second half, Brighton. Decent amount of good possession, good positions, but haven't found the back of the net as Rodri looks over the top to Jack Grealish, and City look to wrap this up here for 4-0 if it's not wrapped up already. Grealish overruns it, and Veltman clatters in with the tackle. That's going to be a corner to Manchester City.
Been a bit of a running battle, that one, Veltman and Grealish. It's quite an interesting one to watch, but certainly Grealish was causing him all sorts of problems first half, and I think Veltman has enjoyed this little period second half now. He can actually get a couple of tackles in on him.
That's actually it for Jack Grealish's night. He is withdrawn here. Kevin De Bruyne comes on to replace him. What do you make of Grealish this evening?
Yeah, I thought first half he was excellent, really, really good. Like I say, I did get the feeling early part of the game that those front three, they all want to score and be the man to score, but then they started looking to link up and find each other. And I mean, for the Foden goal, he was absolutely brilliant on the counter. His run from deep, and then to find Foden with a pass was sensational.
Corner comes in, away from the forehead of the...
Bad numbers, are they?
Well, Brighton certainly have made it interesting in this second period. You do sometimes fear at 3-0 to City in a game like this, the second half might drift a bit and you have to start getting out your long anecdotes. But they've certainly made a game of it.
No, they have. I've been impressed with their attitude and the way they've approached the game, let's say second half, and certainly since that they made the changes in the second half. But it does make you question a little bit, where were you in the first 45 minutes, and why did you not play a similar way then?
Tariq Lamptey keeps winning the ball back, and he's done it again here. Surely a foul by Fernandinho.
As I said before, he gets a crowd going as well, and they spur the team on, so he's like a breath of fresh air to him, he really is.
Chelsea really have let go of some real quality, haven't they, in recent times? You think about Livramento and Broha at Southampton, Tariq Lamptey at Brighton, a bunch of their academy products scoring in the 7-0 victory today over Norwich. Giant academy and the loan army paying dividends right now for Chelsea. A few buybacks in there as well as they come forward. Brighton and Wepu, he's gone down soft, and that's going to be a penalty. Ball was slipped into him, he's running away from goal, and Wepu was going down before Edison even decided to slide in. One of those penalties Jamie Vardy used to get all the time.
I think this might get overturned, I don't think there's any contact.
We're seeing the replay here, Trossard to Wepu. I think that's going to be given because he's brushed the knee, isn't he?
Yeah,
what's he doing, Edison?
He pulls his hands away, but then his body goes into him. So yeah. I thought initially it was silly. He didn't need to do it at all because he's right on the touchline.
Just checking the replay now for various shouts of potential offside in the build-up.
I thought so. Well, you could see Edison had pulled his hands away, so I thought he's definitely not caught him with his hands, but his body, because he comes rushing out, does then slide into into him and knock him over. So yeah, penalty.
I mean, he's going away from goal. There's no danger. It's 3-0.
Yeah.
Brighton can't buy a goal. And Ederson has just slid in sloppily, sillily, to give away this penalty. And it looks a little bit like, I'm trying to work out who's going to take this penalty here. May well be Mwepu to take it. No, he's giving it to McAllister now. Alexis McAllister is the man who is going to take this penalty. Looking for his second Premier League goal of the season against Ederson to get Brighton back in the game. And it's something they deserved on their second half of the second half performance. McAllister for Brighton. Ederson got a fingertip to it but couldn't keep it out. And Brighton have scored. Brighton 1, Manchester City 3, and things just got interesting at the Amex Stadium.
Yeah, a well struck penalty, lots of pace. He guesses the right way, gets two hands onto it, but can only push it into the top corner, Ederson. So a good penalty. The pace on it was what beat him in the end. But yeah, Brighton deserve this, Tom. They've been good, like I say, second half, and certainly since the changes, they've been very much front foot and causing Man City some problems. So fair play to them.
And it's a goal, really, all of Man City's making in many ways. A poor penalty given away by Ederson, who then got his fingertips to it and keep it out. And now Brighton, well, they've got to try and score again. It feels like the only way they're going to score is to keep getting penalties, but maybe that's not beyond them here, as Mwepu lobs one upfield from his own penalty area. Turn back towards the burner for City. Lewis Dunk picks it up. Such a shame for Brighton kit in so many ways that they gave away such a sloppy goal to open the game, because as it's gone on, the better they've got.
That's right, and also I think they've improved with that addition of just energy in midfield, you know, and forward runs. I mean, it was Mwepu who won the penalty by breaking into the box. We've seen a couple of occasions he's made real strong third man runs into the Man City penalty box. So they've changed the formation, they've changed personnel, and they've been better for it.
That's a foul from Ruben Dias and Solly March on the left hand side. Brighton have a chance to swing this ball in here, and suddenly everyone fancies it at the Amex, including the players of Brighton and Hove Albion. Solly March over it. McAllister, who scored the penalty, over it too. It's left hand side, right on the sideline, maybe 25 yards from the end line. It will be McAllister with it. Deep delivery, and it's over the head of Veltman at the back post. Ederson had it read, and that's a waste from Brighton.
It was a waste, yeah. Really good situation, and they, you know, they do the old one when a man runs over the ball first to try and get the Man City line to drop, and then they delay and then put it in. And McAllister just completely.
Kevin Friend, but I always feel like that sort of thing is like 1 week there's a yellow, 1 week there isn't. When I went to a Brentford game,
he gives them enough warnings, then the players are ignoring it, and then I think fine, yeah, we deserve to be yellow carded.
Big clearance from Ederson. Both teams battling for the aerial ball. Kyle Walker forward. Dunk's back header.
Dominant 14 attempts and like 9 attempts on target in the first half. That's just too much, but it's been a very, very different story in this second period.
Moda chips cross field. Walker intercepts, breaks to Trossard. Trossard into Mwepu, who tries to return, but Trossard hadn't made that run, and Walker will clear it into touch. That's a throw in for Brighton, and all of a sudden everyone's checking their watches. Is there enough time to score two against the team who'd barely conceded a goal all season?
Looks a little bit rusty, Mwepu, some of his passing on the ball, but the energy he's brought has been excellent. So he runs into the box, and he certainly caused Man City some problems.
Team for this man Lamptey as well is bringing Brighton forward again from the right hand side onto Solly March, who's gone around Cancelo beautifully, and he's away from Bernardo Silva, and he gets to the end line as well, pokes it back towards Mwepu. May have just been running into touch, trying to win a corner, couldn't. Here is Lamptey now, held up by Foden. Foden's away. Here comes Lamptey, away from Fernandinho as well. In the end, he just didn't have anywhere else to go. Tarek Lamptey, and swung a right boot at it.
But again, goes brilliant. He gets caught under his feet a little bit in the end, but it's a fantastic run.
Just slashed at it.
Slashed it at the end, yeah. He rushed it. He was off balance a little bit, but again, just great energy and determination and a driving run.
the change here for Man City. They are really just trying to waste the clock here. Gabriel Jesus going to be withdrawn, and Riyad Mahrez will be their third substitution. Any thoughts on Gabriel Jesus today?
Again, first half I thought he did pretty well, and was involved in a lot of the goals, and drifted out of it. We've not seen anything of City really as much of an attacking force in the second period. Him, Foden and Grealish all sort of drifted out of the game second period, but all very, very good first half. But not much of a contribution or an effect in the second period.
87 minutes gone, 3-1 to Manchester City at Brighton. Here's Rodri finding Riyad Mahrez, De Bruyne, Walker making a forward run from the right hand side, stays on the sideline and finds Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez from the bench has the ball at feet in Brighton territory. Rodri behind him, crossfield to Fernandinho, on towards João Cancelo. Fernandinho again, back to Cancelo, down the line to Bernardo Silva, return to Cancelo. Fernandinho under pressure from Solomar, better from Manchester City, who struggled to get the ball for a good 15 minutes or so. Ederson, whose mistake allowed Brighton back into this game, left to Aymeric Laporte, to Phil Foden, who, worth reminding you, has scored 2 of the 3 goals today for Man City. Fernandinho found by Laporte, poked towards Foden. Lallana wins it back, as he has done many a time today, but his pass was poor. And here's Bernardo Silva running at Lamptey, running past Lamptey, still going here, onto Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne into Mahrez, intercepted back to De Bruyne, blocked by Cucurella this time. Mahrez heads back to Rodri. Fernandinho looks left to Cancelo. Suddenly City having a spell.
It's the first time for a long time, Tom, this is, but much better from City, and if they finish the game strong now, they'll see it out comfortably. But Brighton were very good in the second half. They really did have a go and made a good, entertaining game of it.
Senior heads have come on, Riyad Mahrez, Fernandinho, Kevin De Bruyne. And now they are managing the game a lot better, Manchester City. Down the line to Cancelo, Veltman holds him up. Cancelo wants a corner, Cancelo wins a corner. And I suppose that's, you mentioned the phrase squad game earlier on. Entering the final minute of normal time. Here's Phil Foden on a hat-trick. Here is Phil Foden. Foden's in. Poke towards Robert Sanchez, who makes the save, but he's suddenly lost it. Robert Sanchez with another basic handling error today. Gets away with it that time, though. A teammate there to thrash it clear.
Very, very good save initially, though, Tom, from Foden there. Really good save.
On to Cancelo. Kevin De Bruyne square. Back to Cancelo. Long way from goal, left-hand side. Here's Foden now. Silva, Fernandinho, De Bruyne back towards the halfway line. Well, they've certainly received the message from Guardiola just to keep the ball, try and take the sting from it.
Yeah, this is what I expected of Man City in the second half, like controlling the game, but Brighton didn't allow them to do it. Like I say, they changed the personnel, changed the formation, much more on the front foot, and they were the better team second half, Brighton. But when you're already 3 goals down, it's a big mountain to climb.
Here's Phil Foden turning and driving towards goal. Shot comes in from Foden, blocked by the outstretched leg of Lewis Dunk, who's felt the full force of that on his hamstring. 5 minutes added on at the end of the 90 minutes. We're 30 seconds into the first of those. Just seeing that the save on our monitors of Robert Sanchez from Foden trying to prevent the hat-trick, which he successfully did.
Yeah, he saves really well with his feet, Sanchez. He stands up, makes himself big. But the chance came. It was a beautiful ball through from De Bruyne. One of those passes that not too many people see, and even fewer are able to execute, and he can do both.
2 years ago, when Dan Burn was playing for Wigan and they beat Man City in the FA Cup, I'll never forget his post-match interview where he said some of the crosses that De Bruyne was putting in were disgusting. I thought it was a fantastic quote, and it's still true today. Some of those passes some of those crosses and some of those bits of creativity that he can do, there's almost no one in the world that could also do them.
No, exceptional player.
At the moment, though, he's not making the first team with Phil Foden and Jack Grealish and Gabriel Jesus, the front three today. And it was their brilliance in the first half that have all but secured victory here. Gundogan with the opening goal, Foden with the second and the third. Alexis McAllister pulled one
of that for sure, and then
Mwepu tries to flick away from Diaz, can't get away from him. A powerful midfielder. It's going to be a throw into City by the halfway. It's a victory for Manchester City. Sees them keep pace with Chelsea at the top of the Premier League table. Phil Foden trying to wrap things up here with his third. Never going to pass this one. Shot comes in, blocked by a Brighton corner. Man City. Victory for Man City puts them up above Liverpool into second in the table, 2 behind Chelsea, who won 7-0 against Norwich City. Poor, beleaguered, pitiful Norwich City earlier today. 6 victories from 9, just the 1 defeat for Man City on the opening day against Tottenham. Looked well out of sorts that day. Since then they looked almost untouchable. Another big away win for them as well, against the team in Brighton who are not the Brighton of old. Began the day 4th in the table, where they'll end the day as well. They could be usurped tomorrow by Tottenham, by Manchester United, by West Ham United. All in action on our massive Super Sunday of action. Here's Cancelo. Yes, always favoured the goalkeeper, didn't quite have the spin to get away from the Spaniard in goal. He's had an up and down sort of game. That's Paul there. Chance for Foden. Clip back towards Dunk, was just over his head from Moda. Helped out. The chance for Mahrez here to make it 4. And it is going to be 4 for Manchester City. Brighton have huffed and puffed in this second half and maybe have deserved something from it. But the first half they were very poor, and they end the second half with a giveaway to Man City just as they started the first. And Riyad Mahrez from the bench wraps it up. It's 4-1 and Man City are going second.
Yeah, good goal. Came from, again, a giveaway from Brighton, overplaying, get caught. Comes to Fernandinho, tries to play it, or plays a 1-2 with Foden. Foden, great vision to know Mahrez is free if he reverses it, which he does very, very quickly. Mahrez in on his left foot. Sanchez comes out, puts it in the top corner. Really good finish. And they became the team in control for the last 10-15 minutes since the big hitters have come. Well, big hitters since the senior players have come on. De Bruyne and Mahrez, they started to get control of the game again. Because, like I say, up to that stage, they weren't. It was Brighton with a team on the front foot.
And that's how close we were to the final kick of the game. Riyad Mahrez wrapping things up to make it 4-1. Gundogan and 2 from Foden in the first half. McAllister with a penalty made it interesting. Reward for their good performance in the second period, Brighton and Hove Albion. But in the end, it was always going to be Manchester City's day, and Riyad Mahrez wrapped things up with that late goal there. Kit Simons, it was certainly an interesting game, a good game of football, but you just can't give Manchester City goals in the way Brighton did today. No,
I mean, what was good about it, Tom, was a 3-0 at half-time. It's pretty much done, you would think, but Brighton didn't allow it to just, because City can then just control the game then, and Brighton then just chase the shadows. But Brighton changed things, and they changed personnel, changed formation, changed mindset, and they made a game of it. They had a couple of opportunities and were the more dominant team. Needed to take a chance or two, and in the end they got 1 goal back for a penalty. But it was a little bit too little, too late. Like I say, they weren't great defensively at all in the first half. Much better all round second period. But City are just so good when they get their opportunities. But Brighton did cause some problems in the second period.
Full time, City have won it. Here's your highlights. Jesus wants it, and he's found here. Gabriel Jesus in the area, saved by Sanchez, off the line by Lewis Dunk. That is simply incredible. Stretching out on the goal line, the skipper with the laces gets it off the line.
Great bit of defending.
Foden in the area, shot from him, it's blocked. Sanchez comes out, challenged by Jesus. He thinks he was fouled. Referee doesn't think so, and Man City have scored, and Sanchez is furious. Well, it's 1-0 to Manchester City.
I don't think there's a foul in there at all. He's got to be stronger, Sanchez, there. Jesus has got his eyes on the ball, jumps. There's a little bit of coming together, but it's more Sanchez coming into the back of Jesus.
Brighton are beaten, and Grealish is through. Jack Grealish, square ball, Phil Foden! And that's 2-0 to Manchester City. Fantastic breakaway from the champions. Jesus, away from his man, finds Grealish in the area. Jack Grealish! Save! Jesus! Save! But it's gone in! Poor hand by Robert Sanchez, and Jesus has made it 3-0 in 30 minutes. Into Mwepu, back to Mona, good football. Leandro Trossard! Great save, Ederson. Rather straight at him once again, but he got a big hand to it. It bounced down, it bounced up, could have gone anywhere. McAllister. Ederson got a fingertip to it, but couldn't keep it out. And Brighton have scored. Brighton 1, Manchester City 3, and things just got interesting at the Amex Stadium. Yeah, Brighton couldn't score again though, and Riyad Mahrez added a late fourth for Man City as they went on to win 4-1. Elsewhere today, Chelsea 7-0 victors against Norwich, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 1, Everton 2, Watford 5 in the surprise result of the day. Leeds 1, Wolves 1, Southampton 2, Burnley 2. We're back tomorrow with 3 games in the Premier League: Brentford against Leicester, West Ham against Tottenham, and we round up our weekend with Manchester United against Liverpool. Here, Man City have gone second with a 4-1 victory. My thanks to Kit Simons. We're back tomorrow. You're listening to Premier League Live.